Hello and good evening, everyone. I hope all the students have joined in. Today, we are going to start off where we had completed yesterday. We had discussed about staircases. We also discussed about components, and we discussed about a few settings that were required for visualizing the 3D models, visual styles. We discussed about visual graphics, the different graphic settings that need to be set. So we have discussed almost all the topics related to the software. But in today and tomorrow's class, we are going to complete a model. And along with the model, we are going to also understand how to create a 2D plan of a building. And after we create a 2D plan of a building, how to schedule those plans, how to show the output of area of the each and every room of that plan. You're going to understand about that. Along with that, schedules is also very important. Schedules is nothing but what is the area of each room, what is the perimeter of each room, what are the dimensions of the room. So all these details are called as schedules. So we are going to discuss about schedules as well. So as usual, we are going to open up the software. Once we open the software, we are going to open the same model that we have been doing. I'm going to click on open, and in desktop we have the civil class which I had saved in the first class. We can open that model. Now another method to open a model, you have to click on open, click on civil class, and when I click on civil class, I can open a model that we have completed in the previous class. We can also open the same model with the recent files that we can view here. You have an option to open the recent files. You can see the heading recent files, and below that you have models, and below the models you have the civil class which we have been working on. You can directly click on the model itself. So this is the model we have been working on. So let us open the floor plan of the model. Now this is the plan of the model. Now let's say I want to understand area of each room. Hall is a room, dining is a room, kitchen is a room, and every room has its own boundaries. So right now, for example, this is my living room, and that living room needs to be understood in terms of area. So how can I do that? So you have an option called as room, and I click on room, and when I click on the area where I need the room, you can see that every corner of the wall is being selected for that room. But whereas the hall is only the area within the limits that I'm displaying on the system. This is the living room area. But what is happening is every single corner of the wall is being selected for this room. So to separate that, we have another option called as room separator. I'll click on room separator and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to draw another line. After that, I'm going to draw a line on the topmost portion of the living room. Once I have completed all the lines, now if you click on the room, you can see the four boundaries of the room. Right now, all is being presented in the right way. All the four corners of the hall has been selected as the room. So now I have mentioned which is my room. The next room that I want to mention, I'm going to click on room and I'm going to click on the area for which I need a room. So this is my dining hall, but I need the dining hall only up to the puja room wall. So what to do? Click on the room separator. You just have to draw a line. When you draw a line, now if I click on that particular room, I can see the area enclosed. So this is my room. Now within this room, I have two areas. One is the kitchen, the other one is the dining. I want to specify even that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on room separator. And first, let us understand what is the dimension of the dining hall. To understand the dimension of the hall, type DI. DI represents dimension. I'll click on the face of one wall and face of other wall. You can see that the wall to wall distance is 19 feet 6 inches. So it is 19 feet 6 inches. Now let's say 9 feet 6 inches is the area for kitchen and the remaining 10 feet would be the area for the dining hall. I'm going to divide my area in that way. So I'll use the room separator. Draw a line. This line indicates that my area is going to be separated into two portions. So to move the denotation for room, you have a symbol which looks like move symbol. Click on that and you can move the denotation anywhere you want. Now this is another room. I want another room. I'll go to the kitchen. I'll click on this area. Now this is the third room. Now similarly, we are going to keep on adding the rooms that we want to specify. This is room 4. Similarly, we have room 5. Room 6. Room 7. Room 8. If you need to specify even the parking area, you can do that with the help of room separator. I can click on this area and after that I'm going to click on the room and I'm going to place it over here. This is the room. Now you can see all the rooms have been specified. Now, if you delete any of the lines, what happens is the complete area enclosed will also be included within the room. So always remember to keep those lines intact. Once all the lines have been placed properly, all the rooms have been specified, the next thing that we need to understand is to give each room its specific name. Let us start with room 1. I'm going to click on that. You just have to click on the box within which the room is placed. Click on that. I am going to type it as living room. Okay. The next would be this one, which will be named as dining hall. After that, I'm going to name the room 3 as kitchen. We're going to name this room as puja room or just puja. This will be utility. We have the veranda. We also have parking area. We have the master bedroom. We have the common bathroom. Let me specify that this particular house plan that you're seeing on the screen, this is the duplex plan of a building, and it has staircases from the outside as well as from the inside. The other staircase will be in this position. It will be in an L-shaped direction, and this is going to lead you to the upper hall, and the upper hall is going to have 2 bedrooms on the rear portion or the back portion of the house. You'll have 2 rooms with attached bathrooms. You'll have an opening or skylight opening in the middle of the living room, and on the front portion you'll have a rented house, or it can also be changed as in the front portion you'll have the owner's bedroom, and on the back portion you'll be having a 1 BHK house. So it can be in any way, but right now I have created the ground floor plan of the building. So once I have given the names for each of the rooms, now I'm going to go to annotate. In the option called as annotate, if you go to the right portion, you can see color fill legend. This represents each of the area that we have mentioned will be given a color. So I click on color fill legend, and I'll just place this box anywhere I want. I'll click here. Now it is going to ask me a few things. The dialog box says a color scheme has not been assigned to the view. The legend will appear blank. To apply a color scheme to the view, choose a space type and scheme and press OK. So what type of space are we choosing? We are working on rooms. I'm going to select rooms. The color scheme will be name. So I'm going to specify that name will be my color scheme. I'll click on OK. Now you can see each of the area has been given a specific color. Revit has automated those colors on its own. Now you can see the bathroom, the dining, the kitchen. Usually, the colors which are automated by Revit is also fine. But let's say you want a different color for your schemes, you can also do that. How can we do it? Click on the room legend, and after you click on the room legend, on top you can see edit scheme. I'll click on that. When I click on the edit scheme, keep the dialog box just beside the building so that you can visualize the plan as well as the colors. Now, let's say the living room needs to be changed. It looks a little bit gray. I want to change that color. You can go to the top. You can change the color. How do we do it? You have to click on those colors, any color you want, click on it, and you can see n number of colors here. You can choose any color you want. Whichever color you are choosing, you can see both the colors on the bottom side. One says original color, which is gray. The next one says new color, which will be pink. You can use any color you want, or you can also change the colors with the color palette which is given here. But right now, I would like to keep the color the same color, but a little bit lighter. So I'm going to change the color and click on apply. Now you can see the color of the room is much lighter than before. Similarly, let's say I want to change the color for dining. Usually, I use the same colors that Revit is assigning, but the only thing is I change the brightness of those colors. So let's click on dining. It is cyan color. I'm going to make it more lighter, a little bit lighter. I click on OK, apply. So this is the color I have chosen for the dining. Similarly, if you want to change more colors, click on the dialog box, click on edit scheme, and you can change the colors. If you click on the checkbox which is shown here and click on apply, you will not be able to see those colors. Okay, I'll make sure the checkbox is on. Let's say I want to change the color of the kitchen. I click on OK, apply. Now that color is, I think, better for me. I'll keep it the same. Next, we have the color for puja room. I'm going to make it a little bit different color. Click on apply. Now I've made it blue. Let's say I want tiles symbol for my utility. You can also do that. I'll go to utility. I'll go to solid fill. You can see a drop down. Click on that drop down. You can see different kinds of material shown here. For example, I'll click on aluminium. You can see the symbol for aluminium. concrete, crosshatch, and so on. So diagonal crosshatch looks a little bit better for me. I'll click on apply. Now if you see, the utility has its own denotion and its own color. The color is representing the tiles. Now similarly, I'm going to select it again. Click on edit scheme. And I'm going to keep on changing all the colors. I have veranda, for which I need a little bit different color. I have the master bedroom. I'll use light blue version of yellow. We have the bathroom, for which I can use any of the patterns. We also have parking. I'll click on parking. And let's say we'll have a red shade of the color. And in the fill pattern, I might prefer something which looks like parking. Now, this is the procedure to create tags for your rooms. Now, once you're clear with all the rooms, with all the elements and the namings, you can delete those names if you want. Please make sure not to delete the rooms, but you have to just delete the names or the tags. Now, once I've deleted all the tags and the names, now this symbol represents common bathroom. I can see it here. The light green color, it represents dining hall. This is the area for the dining. Kitchen, you can find it here. Living room, you have it in the middle. Parking, you have it outside. The symbol represents parking. The light blue symbol represents puja room. The cross symbol represents utility. And light brown color represents veranda. So each of the colors represent their own denotions. So once you are done with the denotions part, the next thing we need to understand is how to schedule the complete area of the building. I'll go down in the drop down. We have an option called as schedules. I'll click on schedules. So I want my schedules to be viewed. I'll click on the right. I'll click on the right click. I'll click on new schedule or quantities. When you click on that, you can see a dialog box. Go down to in the drop down. You have to find the option called as rooms. This is the procedure to schedule rooms. Click on the rooms. Next thing, what is the name? It is room schedule, and keep it the same. Schedule building components, yes. New construction, yes. Keep all the elements the same. Click on OK. When you click on OK, what are the things required for you? For example, I want the area of the element. I'll add it. Do you want base finish? I don't require that. Base offset? No. Ceiling finish? Don't want that. Comments, count, department, floor finish. Many of the elements we don't perimeter of the building. Similarly, that is all. Area and perimeter would be enough for us. I'll click on OK. As soon as you click on OK, you can see the complete schedule of the building. If you want to alter it, if you want to add or remove any items from the schedules, what you need to do is you need to go to the schedules on the project browser, click on a room schedule. Now you can always add or subtract any element to your schedule. For example, we have the first one, which is called as fields. In fields, let's say I want the name of the element as well. If you want to add it, you have to click on this particular symbol which says add parameter. I'll click on that. So let's say I want the name of the element as well. If you want the name of the element on the top, you can keep it on the top. Perimeter on the top, area, third one. How to do it? You have the symbol. Let's say you want the perimeter in the bottom. You can click on move perimeter down. This is the symbol in which you can place the name downwards. Now let's say you want it in the middle. You can click on this symbol, which will move the element to the top. Now, if you don't want the element to be in the schedules, you can always remove the parameter with the help of this arrow. Now, if you want it back, click on that particular element, click on add parameter. You're going to get it on the right hand side. A right hand side box represents these schedules are going to be shown. The left hand side are the ones which is there in the library. You can choose any of them and place it to the right to work on it. Similarly, you have filter, you have sorting. These elements are not of use for us. We are just going to focus on these parameters. I'm going to click on OK. Once I click on OK, now you can see the name. Living room has 521 square feet. Dining has 151 square feet. Kitchen has 131 square feet. Puja has 37 square feet. Utility has 43. Veranda has 41. Common bathroom has 34. Master bedroom has 210 square feet. Parking has 236 square feet. So you are going to understand each and every room's exact area in square feet. I hope we are clear. The next parameter that is there is perimeter. You're going to get the perimeter of the entire building. But right now, since we have given the perimeter of each room separately, it is going to calculate the perimeter of each room separately. Now, living room perimeter is 92 feet 8 inches. So, perimeter is nothing but the path traveled along the boundary of the area. That path has its own dimension. That dimensions, when added, you're going to get the perimeter of the building of the particular room. Similarly, dining has 50 feet 8 inches. Kitchen has 47 feet. Puja has 25 feet. Utility has 27 feet 3 inches. Veranda has 25 feet 6 inches. Common bathroom has 23 feet 10 inches. Master bedroom has 58 feet. Parking has 72 feet 2 inches. So these are some of the schedules that are required. Now let's say I'll go to the 3D. If you want to change the unit system, you can type UN, which is going to open up a portal in which you can set the exact rounding off of the numbers. So how can we do it? Right now, I want to change areas rounding off. So right now it is to 0 decimal places. If you type on 1 decimal place, there will be a number after the decimal. Units will be in square feet. If you want to change the units, you can always change it to acres, hectares, square centimeters, square inches, square meters, square millimeters. You can use any of these units. Right now, I'm going to keep it square feet itself. What is the unit symbol? It is SF. You can also use feet square, which is much more better than SF. I'm going to click on OK. Similarly, I'm going to click on length. Now for length, the rounding off is very high. Right now, 1 inch of rounding off would be sufficient for us. This is the precision that we are setting. I hope it's clear. I'm going to click on OK. Mass density, slope, speed, time, volume, currency, cost per area, distance, rotation. All these parameters are not of use for us, except for the distance, for which we can keep the decimal place to one place, and that is all we require. We also have discipline like common, structural, HVAC, electrical, piping, energy, and infrastructure. We don't require any of these. Common would be sufficient. And once all the precision is set, you can click on OK. Now let's go back to the schedules and check. Now, if you see the schedule, you can see the unit system has been changed. The precision also has been changed. We have one number after the decimal for each of the areas shown here. So this is the precision that we can set for the schedules. Please go through the schedules, the rooms, the color combinations. Please let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. I hope we are clear. If you have any questions, please let me know. So I'm going to close the room schedule. I'm going to save the file. And right now I'm going to open a new file. This is also an elevation of the building that I created with the help of Revit software. Let's open the software again and create a new plan. Now this is the new user interface. Now we can also create a plan. Now let's say I have a plan. You have an option called as tag row. Okay, tag row, tag with area. But before we understand that, let us first go to the drop down which has area. We click on area plan, click on OK. So it says automatically create area boundary lines associated with all external walls. Yes. When you click on that, now you can see the area of the building, the area of the room, any room you want. So this is another method which we can set the area of a particular room. How do we do it? First, if I click on this, you can see that there is no area enclosed. So hence I'm not going to get the area. The next thing is area boundary, in which I can set the boundary of the area. I click on four walls. When I click on four walls, it is automatically going to enclose that area. And once that area is enclosed, I'm going to go to the drop down over here, click on area, and you can always check the area of a particular room. I hope it's clear. Let's say we have a plan of a building. So we need to calculate the area of each of these elements. Now, first I'll click on area boundary. I can either create boundaries of each of the element, or also do it collectively in the way that I did in the starting part of the class. So I'll just click on area, keep on placing the area, and you'll get the area of each room separately. So this is another method to understand the area of a particular room without the help of schedules. In schedules, we have separate columns, separate details. But if you don't want to read the schedule, you can also do this with the help of just placing the area wherever you want. I hope we are clear. So you can also get to understand the carpet area of the building. How can we do it? Click on area plan, click on OK. Even though you have partition walls inside, the option is going to select only the external walls, and you can get to know the area of the complete internal part of the building, which is called as carpet area. So now what is a carpet area? What is a built-up area? Built-up area is the complete area of the building, including the exterior walls, the interior walls, and all the built-up elements. It includes everything. But carpet area includes only the area which is usable for us. You have a commercial building. In the commercial building, let's say you have an area. That area is going to be used for interior works, and you need to understand what is the area of that particular unit. So you can do that with the help of area plan, which is going to tell you what is the area of the complete floor. I hope this portion is clear. Now let's say I have a room. I don't require the area to be displayed. Let's say I'm going to delete all the lines which I use to display the area of a room. Now I have the complete building in front of me. I can also display the dimensions of the building or the dimensions of each room separately. For that, the option is DI. DI represents dimension. And in dimension, I'm going to select wall faces. This represents that I'm going to display the dimensions from face to face of the wall. I'll click on wall faces. I'll click on the first wall, the second wall, and then I'm going to click somewhere. This represents that this is the exact dimension of the room. Similarly, I can also create the dimension in the vertical direction. Now, let's say I want to change the dimension. I can change it any way I want. I kept it 12 feet 6 inches and 12 feet 4 inches. That is the depth of the room. Width is 12 feet 6 inches. Now, if you want to change the position of the text on the dimension line, you can always drag it wherever you want, to the left, to the right, or wherever you want. Let's say I have placed all the dimensions, and once I am clear with the dimensions, I can click on the lock symbol, which means the dimension line is going to get fixed. I hope you're clear. Similarly, I can display the dimensions of each room in the same way. Please keep in mind that the dimensions should not overlap on the lines of other dimensions. Now, if this text is overlapping on the line, I'm going to extend it to another direction. I'm going to extend the 10 feet 4 inches to the left side. Now, this is how you can represent the dimensions of each room. You have another method, display text on your plan. We can do this with the help of model text. So how do we use model text? I'm going to click on model text, type in living room, and I'm going to type the dimensions as 26 feet 4 inches by 12 feet 4 inches and click OK. I can place the text anywhere I want. Let's say I want to change the thickness of the text. We have the depth. I'm going to keep it 1 by 2 inches. Similarly, I also need the complete size of the text to be reduced. I click on edit type. The same way we worked on walls, I click on duplicate. I'll type 12 inches. So this is the new name. I'll change the text size to 1 feet and click on OK. So now this is the living room. This is the denotion or the text for living room. Similarly, I'm going to add text. I'll click on this text. I'll click on copy. I'll place my text wherever I want. And I can give any name I want. Let's say this is the dining hall. Whose dimension is 10 feet 4 inches by 21 feet 10 inches. Now let's say this is the parking area. Which is 15 feet 4 inches and 21 feet 10 inches. Now this is parking area. Now, similarly, we have bedroom. So the dimension is 13 feet 2 inches by 12 feet 4 inches. Similarly, other bedroom, I'm going to copy it from here. I'm going to change the dimensions. Click on OK. So now this is one of the methods. We still have other methods as well, but this is also one of the methods to write the text inside an enclosed area. So we have learned how to place the area inside an enclosed room. We have learned how to give name for it. We have learned different details. We have used both the methods to mark a room, to name it, to schedule it. So these are the ways that we can use to create the schedules of a room. I hope it's clear. If you have any questions, you can ask me. The next thing that we are going to discuss is about tagging the doors, how to give names or how to schedule doors and windows. Let's say I have placed two doors. Now I want to tag them. How can I tag them? How can I add names to it? Now let's say I have the door for different elements. Let's say I have a veranda, I have an opening, I have two doors for my puja room. Let's say I have dining and a kitchen. So I want to tag all of these doors and windows. What is the procedure for that? I'm going to show it to you now. So you have insert, we have annotate, and in annotate, tag all is an option from which you can tag any of the elements you want. Let's say window tags, I click on apply. Similarly, door tags, I click on apply. I click on OK. Now this is the tag. This is the method to give tags for each of the rooms, each of the doors. Now you can see number 1, number 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Similarly, if I place a window, let's say I placed a few windows in my plan. Now I'll go to annotate. I'll click on tag all. And when I go to the last portion, you can see window tags. If I click on that and click on apply, now you can see the names of windows. Since all the windows I have used are of same width, the same number has been tagged for each of those windows. Okay. This is how you can create the tags for windows and doors. Now we can also change the name exactly that we want. Let's say W1. Similarly, I can type D1, and let's say the same door is there for this as well, D2. let's say D3 or D2. I'm going to name this as D1 itself. Let's say, for example, for the main door, I'm going to use MD, that is main door. So in this way, you can also change the tags. You can also change the names of doors and windows. Let us try to create a model. Now I have a model in front of me. Now this model is going to stop at level 2. Now once I have fixed my levels, there is one more thing. We can also hide these views that you can see in 3D view. You can also hide that. Now let's add a roof to our element. And once I have placed all my roof, I'm going to select all the 4 lines and click on define slopes and switch it off. After that, I'm going to copy the same roof and I'll use it as my floor. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the complete element, the next floor. Now you have the ground floor, the first floor. Both of it is available and visible to you. I'm going to use an architectural column, place it somewhere. Now this is an architectural column. But for me, I need a smaller column. I can use a smaller column by clicking on edit type. I'm going to duplicate this column, name it 9 by 9, which will be 9 inches by 9 inches, and then OK. So now I am going to copy the same column from the ground floor, the first floor. So this is how I can place my columns. Then I'm going to move this column to the front. Now, if you see that the column is slightly beyond the limits, you can always align column with the walls. The option is go to modify, click on align, or you can also type in AL. Similarly, click on the face on which the column needs to be aligned. Click on the column space. Click on the face, click on the column. Now you can see the column is completely aligned to the faces. Now I have a two-story building. You have level 1, you also have level 2. Now I'm going to repeat the same tools that I started in the first class, in which I tagged names for each of the columns, for each of the rooms. So the procedure is go to room and click on the place where you need the rooms to be. You have room 1, you have room 2, you have room 3. These are the schedules for the rooms. Now, if you click on this room, you can see that the room is completely taking even the dining and kitchen space. So if you want to remove that space, we can do it with the help of room separator. I click on room separator. Room separator is just a line. I'm going to add 2 lines. After that, I'll go to architecture, click on room. Now the room's area has been changed. Earlier, we had room 1 and room 2, and room 3 was taking the entire place up to the dining and kitchen. Now you can see the room, that is the living room, is taking only the space which is enclosed for or which is specified for the living room. Now similarly, I'm going to click on room. I'm going to add another few rooms. Now again, the dining room needs to be separated. I'll click on a room separator. With the help of room separator, now you can see only the dining room is visible. Click on room again. Click on the kitchen area. Similarly, click on room. But you can see the room is not enclosed. Now for that, I'm going to click on room separator. I'm going to add 2 lines. This line is going to represent my area, that is the parking area. Now once I have assigned all the rooms, I'm going to start naming them. The first one would be living room, and living room's dimension needs to be checked. The shortcut for dimensions is DI. With the help of DI, we can always check the dimensions of the room. Now you can see I have given the name of the living room, the dimensions, as well as the square feet that it is taking. Similarly, I'm going to go to the bedroom. I'll type bedroom. Now let us check the dimensions of the room. It is 13 feet 3 inches by 12 feet 4 inches, and that is done. You can remove the dimensions once you're done with it. After that, I'm going to type on the next room. I'll check the dimensions. It is 12 feet 6 inches by 12 feet 4 inches. Now we are also done with this part. Now we have the dining room. We have the dining room's area as 10 feet 4 inches by 10 feet 6 inches. Next is kitchen. You can type the dimensions. It's the same dimensions as the kitchen or as the dining. Now we have given names, tags, as well as the dimensions. Let's check the dimensions of veranda. The shortcut for checking the dimensions is DI. Now coming to the last one, which is parking area. Now let's check the dimensions of the parking area. It is 16 by 17. So now this is how you can also tag the dimensions, names, as well as area together inside a particular row. The same can be used for giving the colors to each of these rooms. I click on annotate. I have an option called as color fill legend. I click somewhere. You need to select rooms. After that, you need to select name. Click on OK. And you can see the complete schedules of the rooms along with their dimensions, the square feet it is taking, without having the need to check the schedule of openings or the schedules or the dimensions. You can directly view the complete scenario of the building. You can also change the color. Click on the room legend, click on edit scheme, click on the colors. You can keep on changing the colors, any color you want. Parking looks a little bit similar to living room. I'm going to change it as well. Puja room is quite dark. I'm going to make it lighter. both the bedrooms have similar colors. Now, if you want change the name of the bedroom, you can type it common bedroom. Click on this, go to edit scheme, click on common bedroom. You can change the color of the building as well. Now, this is how we can create schedules. Now I'm going to make the same building and I'm going to create a 3D elevation to the same building with the help of components. First, we need to complete all the elements such as staircases, columns, doors, and windows. Let us complete all of these first. And go to level 2. Let's check once how are the levels arranged. We have the level 2. I've added another level, which is level 3. Now I'm going to go to the level 3 and I need to add a parapet wall to my building. I'll take some 5 inches wall. I'll set my wall to finish face exterior and I'll start drawing my parapet wall. Now I'll check once. Now if you see the wall is starting below the roof, you need to set the offset so that you are going to understand the exact location from which wall is going to start. After that, I'm going to keep my wall unconnected itself. I'm going to type 2 feet 6 inches as my parapet wall's default height. After that, let us place a staircase. Now in level 1, you can see all these details. Now let us add a staircase. So we have discussed about staircase in the previous classes. Let's start drawing the staircase. Click on finish. Now I'll go to level 2. I'm going to cut off the rope in the exact direction, in the exact position where the staircase is located. I'll check on define slopes so that there is no slope in the roof which is being cut. I'll click on finish. Now you can see the position of the staircase. Now I'm going to copy the same staircase the next floor as well. And I'm going to cut off the roof. I click on finish. Now you can see the staircase as well. Now let us add railings to the building. I'll click on railings. Railings is very simple. We just need to draw a line just to show how your railings is going to take its direction. You just have to mention that. Now I'm going to set the railings 9 inches above the roof because the railings is starting in the bottom of the roof. I have explained in the earlier classes that if you draw an element onto any level, it is going to draw exactly from the level itself. But if you want the element to be drawn on the roof, you need to specify the depth of the roof as offset. I hope it's clear. Now you can see the railing of the building. We have also discussed about how we can set the visual style of building. We can keep it in wireframe, which represents complete lines of the entire building. Each line will be visible to us. We can keep it in hidden line. We can also keep it in shaded, or we can also keep it in consistent colors. Now I'm going to select my railings. I'm going to give glass panel as my default railings. So you can see the building. Now, once the structure of the building is complete, we need to design the building's elevation. How can we do it? We can do it with the help of component. In component, I'll click on model in place. In model in place, I'm going to click on casework. Click OK. I'll go to extrusion. I'll click on set, pick a plane. This was discussed in the earlier classes as well. I'll pick some plane. I will start drawing a few shapes on the top of my building. With the help of extrusion, I'll draw another shape. These shapes are going to help us in creating the extrusion. You can also mirror it with the help of mirror tool. So I'm going to set the thickness of the shape, which is 9 inches. I'm going to extend my shape. So I have created two shapes which are going to be used for my 3D elevation purpose. I'm going to create another extrusion. With the help of trim command, I trim the excess lines. Now you can see the depth of the extrusion is 1 feet. 1 inch would be sufficient for me. I'm going to extrude it backwards. Now the next thing we are going to do is we're going to pick another plane. And after that, let's say I want some design which should be there on the parapet wall throughout the building. You can do that with the help of sweep tool, which we learned in the earlier class. I'll click on sweep. I'll pick my path along which I need the sweep to be completed. I'll select one side, the back of the wall, the other side of the wall. Now you can see the lines are not joined. If you want the lines to be joined, you can do that with the help of trim tool. Click on the first, click on the second line, click on the first line, click on the second line, click on finish. If you have any questions related to schedules, room, tags, the scheduling of doors, and the namings of the rooms, please let me know in the comment section. Once I have picked my path, I'm going to click on select profile, edit profile, and I'm going to draw a profile around my building. And click on finish twice. Now you can see there is a profile which is surrounding the complete parameter of my building. Now once that is complete, let us draw some more shapes on the walls, create some designs. I have drawn a shape. Now I'm going to alter the complete design of the building. Once we have shaped the design of the building, we can add some more elements such as CNC mild steel element, which is usually used these days. I'm going to add it. I'm going to reduce its thickness. Now let us add some random shapes to the CNC. So I'm just drawing some random shapes just to show you how we can create a CNC. CNC is nothing but laser cut design that we create in mild steel. So we're just creating a design which is abstract Once that is complete, this is how it looks like. This is just a random shape that I've created. Let us create a gate. In tomorrow's class, we are also going to discuss about creating the whole model of a building. With the help of tools that we have learned till now, we are going to use the same tools to create the complete model of the building. I'm going to add some lines in the middle of the gate to make the partitions in the gates. I'll copy those elements. And now you can see I have created the frame of the gate. Now I'm going to add some strips in the gate with the help of same extrusion tool that I have been explaining from the previous classes. I'm going to copy those strips from top to bottom. You can see that I have created the gate as well. Now let us create some handles to our gates. Now I have created the handles as well. Now I'm going to create the last thing is going to be the closing point of the gate. Now this looks pretty much like a gate. So let us now give the materials to each of the elements in the elevation. I'll select the gate. In yesterday's class, we discussed how we can create our own materials. So I'm going to create a new material, rename that material as white. And after that, I'm going to change the appearance to white color. How can I do it? I'll go to appearance, I'll go to color, I'll change the color to white and click on OK and apply and OK. Now you can see the color of the material is white. After that, I'll select the same material. We have an option called as join, which is going to help us create identical materials to other components as well. I'll click on join. I have to click on the element which needs to be duplicated. So let us also give the material for the strips. I'm going to create a new material and I'm going to rename that material as wood. I use render appearance. I click on appearance. And in yesterday's class, we have discussed about how we can create our new material. I'll click on image. I have a set of materials available in my own library of materials. I'll go to those textures. These are some of the materials I have in my library. I can use any of these. I'll use the wooden texture. I click on apply and OK. Now I have created my own material. Now I want the same material to be there on this portion of the wall as well. Now I'm going to select this particular element. I'm going to keep it white. I'm also going to keep this element as white. The top portion is also going to be white. These three elements, I'm going to create a new material. I'm going to rename it as stone cladding. And I'm going to click on use render appearance. I'll go to appearance. I'll go to image. Now I'll check for a few elements which I have and I want to use any of those. Now this element on the top looks pretty good. You to click on apply. Now I have stone cladding on the top. Now the last portion is what is the color I need to give to the building. So for that I'm going to go to manage In manage, I'm going to go to the materials. In materials, I'm going to create a new material, and I'm going to rename that material as lemon yellow. This would be the color of the building. I use render appearance, and appearance would be light colored yellow. I'm going to click on apply. Now I'm going to paint the entire building with this color. I'll type yellow. I can see lemon yellow on the left hand side. I'll click on this material. I just have to click on the face on which I need the color. I hope it's visible. Now I have painted color on my building. Similarly, I need a material which looks like granite or marble on the wall. So after I paint all the colors, I am also going to paint the color for staircase as well. And once I have painted all my elements, last thing is I need to give a color to the front wall of my building. For that, I'm going to go to manage, click on materials, click on create new material. I'm going to rename that material as granite. I'll click on use render appearance. I'll go to appearance. I'll click on image. This has been taught already in the earlier classes. That is why I'm doing it a little bit faster. I'm going to check for a few materials. All these materials are downloaded from internet. You can also do that. Let's say I'll use this one, and I'm going to paint granite on the wall for which I need the wall to look like the granite wall. Now, once this is complete, let's just check once how it looks when it gets rendered. So for that, I'm going to go to the camera, and I'm going to take a view from the left hand side of the building. The building looks something like this. Now, once I'm done with this, I'll go to view, and in view, we have the option called as render option. I'll keep the 3D view as the view that I want, and I'll click on render. Let's try a medium quality render for our image. Once we're done with that, we're going to click on render. Now this model is going to get rendered. Now you can see all the textures that I created and placed on the walls. You can see all the textures. I hope it's visible. This is a moderate level, or let's say basic elevation of a building, for which you can alter a few more details. If you add more detail to this building, like adding trees, like adding atmosphere, and adding cars, roads, and adding a few more textures on the wall, if you adjust these details, that is the main gist of creating the elevation of the building, and you can do that very easily. So this is just a basic model of how we can render the element. So in today's class, we discussed about different views. We discussed about schedules, how we can create the tags for each rooms. And after that, we discussed about how can we name the rooms, how can we give dimensions to them, what is the procedure to create schedules for each of those rooms, how to get the area out of those rooms, how to add tags to doors, windows, and all the other elements. And after we discussed about rooms, schedules, and tags, and all those details, we also discussed about creating an elevation with the help of model in place concept, which we had learned earlier as well. We discussed it again. So this is the final product, or let's say a basic product of our 3D model. We can also work on it in tomorrow's class as well. So please participate in tomorrow's class. Do not miss it, because tomorrow's class will be the most important class of our 1 week training. If you have any questions, any doubts, please let me know in the next class. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day. Let me know if you have any questions or doubts in tomorrow's class.